day. First up we have some Norwegian black metal. This is At the Heart of Winter by Immortal. This was originally released in 1999 and was Immortal's fifth record. And I have a slightly complicated relationship with Immortal. I don't remember if I heard the Pure Holocaust or Bats in the North the first when I was maybe 14, 15 years old. Either way, I did not like it and stayed away from Immortal until 2002 when Sons of Northern Darkness was released, and I don't remember why or how, but I picked it up on CD and thought it was very good and revisited some of the earlier stuff, but I preferred Sons of Northern Darkness, which is very uncool to admit. When All Shall Fail was released, I streamed the album but did not like it, but then revisited all the earlier material once more and realized that I had completely missed At the Heart of Winter, and it's as good as Sons of Northern Darkness. Bear in mind, I listened to Sons of quite a lot 16 years ago, so that nostalgia factor might kick in. I don't think any of the fans thinks that Sons is Immortal's best record. Anyway, my favorite tracks on At the Heart of Winter is Withstand the Fall of Time and the title track. And this was initially released in 1999 on Osmose and have been repressed several times. My copy is the 2016 ice blue vinyl and looks like this. It's gatefold. You have the lyrics on the inside and two beautiful pictures of Abbat and Horg. And if you want to order a copy, Osmose still has copies, and so does a lot of other distros. Here are some snippets. Next up, we don't have Sons of Northern Darkness since I have lost my CD and have not bought a vinyl copy of it yet. Instead, we have their first release without Abbat, Northern Chaos Gods, released earlier this year on Nuclear Blast. And as you know by now, I'm not Immortal's biggest fan, but I heard some snippets which was nice prior to release, so I picked up a copy at my local record store. And thousands of people have already reviewed and talked about this record, comparing it to At the Heart of Winter, Blizzard's Beast and whatnot. And I think it's a good record and fits right into At the Heart of Winter and Sons of Northern Darkness. If you like those, you probably like this one. If you only liked the Demonas 90s records, where he was the main songwriter, I believe, you might not like it. I'll leave it at that. My favorite tracks are the title track, Northern Chaos Gods, Into Battle Ride and Mighty Raven Dark. And I got the standard black vinyl release. It's also a gatefold with lyrics on the inside, and you get a insert with Demonas on one side and a Horg on the other. Here's some snippets. Next up we have some more Scandinavian metal. This is The Children of the Night by Tribulation. If you're not familiar with the band, it's a band from Arvika, Sweden. They were formed in 2004 and released an EP in 2016 and a full-length called The Horror in 2009, which contained intense and raw old school thrash death. In 2013 they released the Formulas of Death, where they changed up the music quite a bit. It's hard to describe, but overall you can say that the thrash is removed and has been replaced by melodic black metal, some progressive stuff, and maybe King Diamond-esque passages. Production is a lot cleaner. And this, Children of the Night, is their third full length. It was released in 2015 on Century Media, and this time around things are even more different. Gone is the death metal. They have removed all blast beats, and the more progressive parts from Formulas are ever present here, and the vocals is the only thing that's remain raspy. I don't own a copy of their previous two records, but I heard Formulas before this and not getting the hype, and when Children of Night was released it got even more hype, and when I finally listened to it I thought it was very catchy and sounded nothing like I had imagined. The hooks and leads are very nice, and the songwriting overall is top notch. It's a very good record. My favorite tracks are Strange Gateways Beckon, Melancholia, Själaflykt, and Holy Libations. It's a gatefold, and the record is available in a couple of different color variances, but my version is the standard black. It's a double EP where side D is etched. I don't know if you can see it. And it includes a 16-page booklet with lyrics and stuff. And I'm pretty sure you can pick this up here and there. Here are some snippets. Next up we have Tribulation's latest full length called Down Below. It was released earlier this year on Century Media, and this time things are not completely different. This is very similar to The Children of the Night in regards of pretty much everything. I can't put a finger on why, but I think that The Children of the Night is a slightly better overall. The songs are... My favorite tracks from Down Below is The Lament, Cries from the Underworld, Lacrimosa, and Here Be Dragons. This is also a gatefold, and the record was available in a couple of different color variances, and my version is the Lilac, limited to 200 copies, and I got number 47. And you get a booklet. And before sending you off, I just want to state that I did not like the Formulas of Death when I first heard it, but after listening to the two latest, including this one, and then got back, I for some reason think that Formulas is much better than when I first heard it. Also, the horror is very good, and I can highly recommend all 4 releases from Tribulation. But if you like if you're not so open-minded, start with the first and work your way up. Here's some snippets. Staying in Sweden, we journey to Uppsala. This is Sworn to the Dark by Watain. This was released in 2007 on Norma Evangelium Diaboli and was the band's third full length. and I have never been Vatane's biggest fan, but this record is more on the Dissection side of things than their previous, and Dissection is one of the greatest bands of all time, and while this is not even close to the Sombra or Storm of Lightsbane, it's a very good record, better than the previous two records in my opinion, and they have never topped this. The record is filled with awesome riffs, melodies and leads, and my one complaint is that some of the songs are a little too long without reason, and some of the songs are very similar in structure, making the record seem a bit repetitive. And my favorite tracks are Legions of the Black Light, Storm of the Antichrist, Sworn to the Dark, and The Serpent's Chalice. And as I said, this was released in 2007 on Norma Evangelium Diaboli, but my version is the 2015 Season of Mist repress. Apparently it's the fourth pressing, limited to 200 copies. It's a gatefold with lyrics, and it's on standard black vinyl. Here's some snippets. Next, we have Vatane's latest release, Trident Wolf Eclipse. This was released earlier this year on his Masters Noise and Century Media. This is the follow-up to the Wild Hunt from 2013. And the Wild Hunt was a bit of a different record compared to the other material and got both praise and piss. I did not like it. But one thing I can say is that the production on the Wild Hunt is much better than on Trident Wolf Eclipse. Trident Wolf Eclipse has kind of murky production, and this record is more in the vein of their early material, but the production is very muddy or dry or whatever it is. It's not bad per se, but I prefer the production on the Wild Hunt, but I prefer the music on Trident Wolf Eclipse. The first two tracks, Nuclear Alchemy and Sacred Damnation, and track 7, Towards the Sanctuary, are my favorite tracks. Very good stuff. And it's on standard black vinyl, and you get a 2-page booklet or something with lyrics and stuff. Here's some snippets. Lastly, we have a cassette. This is Vengeance by the band Dreadful Fate. If you're not familiar with Dreadful Fate, it's a band from Sweden that consists of ex-members of well-known bands such as Merciless, In Aeternum, Demonical, Sentinex and Hypnosia. They play old-school thrash death in the vein of early creator Sepultura. The vocalist is Mikael Cab Casteval, who did the vocals in Hypnosia. He does not sound as convincing and angry like he did in Hypnosia, but the vocals are quite good anyways. And this is their debut full-length and was released early this year on I Hate Records. If you like old-school thrash with leanings towards death, you will probably like this. My favorite tracks are Death Sentence, Witch's Hammer and Eternal Fire. And this record can be found here and there, and I Hate Records have a Discogs page where I bought the cassette. It's available on CD, vinyl, and cassette. Here's some snippets. Sit Esa. Support the bands and buy the music. Thanks for watching. Bye.